It's Wednesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Nima Akashat Zabiri, how are you?
Fine, I'm grateful to God.
Good to see you.
So, continuing my countdown to my birthday. I'll be doing a brief enlightening of some of the childhood cancers that are common. And the caveat I would like to put out there is that the chances of survival for childhood cancers are very high. In fact, I would say 99% possible if detected early. So leukemia is one of them, and affects the blood system of the blood cells of the victim. How would I put it? Victim, yes. And it's curable. The chances of survival are high. We have some of those cases that we're dealing with at the Doctors Cancer Foundation presently. Kindly support.
So I sometimes when I see some of those terminal illnesses, I feel like, okay, yeah, it's right to support, but then you hear later that the person died. Many of those sicknesses tend to be terminal, so whatever amount you spend doesn't amount to anything. So this information is very important because some people would be happier to
In September, I'm looking at bringing some of our survivors to the show to just show children who had childhood cancers at early age, they're in their 20s now, they're doing well, they're thriving. There were cases that were handled at the foundation as well. There's a young man I wanted to bring last month, and we just couldn't arrange it. Right. But there are cases, that survival cases that we must share for people to believe in it. As a child, if it is detected early, and at the foundation we do this also, we look at the stages of the cancer before we advise to intervene with any treatment. Yes.
How are you doing, Tokwe?
Busy.
Busy is good.
Busy is good. Busy is good. Today's not the day to be on.
For a while.
Yes, the hair has been consistent because we've been busy. There's no time. Okay. But I would try and make our time over the weekend to do something African.
But she did. I haven't. You did your nails now, so
so I was supposed to do it together. But you know, when you do natural hair, is different from when you do this thing. So it's
the whole day matter.
You know. So I'm happy though, grateful to God.
But there are strands taken, so you need to comb it.
Need to comb it. No, I'll just dab it. I'll dab it. I didn't have the time this morning. I was in Ekpe, touring Ekpe yesterday. Every corner of Ekpe that is possible, we will make the money. Watch out, something is coming.
Fantastic. How are you doing, BC?
I'm doing amazing. I'm enjoying my vegetarian diet.
Interesting.
I've been doing it since the 1st of July, and I'm basking in it. So one of the reasons I get discouraged when I start on this journey is because I cook a lot of meat in my house. We do soups, Igbo soups, or ham, plenty animals, oporoko, we fight inside the soup. So it's usually very difficult for me to cook that for my family without tasting, but I found my way around it now so I can make my own meals different. And then I found this place where I got really amazing dried mushrooms, which I used to make my ofada, V-chunks and mushrooms for my ofada sauce and my soups. So they have their meal different in the house. I have my own meal different in the house. And everybody's admiring me like, we want to join you, but we want our meat. I say, hey, eat your soup, I eat my soup. I'm basking in it. I'm not planning to stop anytime soon because I've sort of figured out how to do my diet, my food, make it work.
You look good, though.
Thank you.
I wish I could be like that at some point.
Thank you.
I mean, we all have to stop meat, right?
Yeah, at some point,
Some people chop and die.
My grandfather. Congratulations to them. I'm doing it for a reason.
Mama is 97 this year. She still drinks Coke.
My father still drinks Coke.
So this life, it's only God that can.
No, but mine is for a different reason.
I really love the colors.
I actually don't. I just have to wear it because TV is supportive and I have to wear it.
No, it's beautiful.
I don't like the short and back thingy. We have a short front and back.
That's
I really don't like it.
I notice you.
I don't like it. Okay, well, good, fantastic. What are we doing today? Today is Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
hot topic.
Hot topic.
That's hot topic.
We avoided it yesterday. Just for more video to come out. Now we have to now do it. You know, we are going to just respect our colleagues. You know, but now that the matter don't
we try and still respect.
We're going to go on a break. Let's see if we can find papers. So the review, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Right, so let's start with the nation. Kano and Lagos top registration. Bullets from terrorist gun still in my stomach. Strike, federal government withholding our salaries. since February, says ASU. Buhari assures states facing terror attacks of support. Flood hit 233 council areas in 32 states, says NEMA. 21 died in Lagos road accident. 2 barons, chemists held in raid on Unkpuru Mbiri labs. Gunmen killed 7 guards. Okay, this story we're starting with?
The bullet story, very gruesome account of how one of the 5 freed hostages from the Abuja-Kaduna train attack, his name is Mukhtar Shoaibu. He recounted how he was shot after noon prayers in the kidnappers' den. While he sat, he just felt a bullet pass through him. One of the bandits or the terrorists was sort of playing with a gun or something and shot straight at him. And he said he saw blood streaming down his body. He was in pain. And they called their doctor. The doctor came, just put finger inside the wound, trying to find bullet. And he couldn't find it. And then he put a scissors. And all this time, he was crying in pains, you know, inserting those objects. And he said he kept crying in pains like that. And they didn't do anything. So he was freed with the bullet still in him now. And he's just hoping for a great medical process to help at least remove it or determine what level of damage is there. So this only can only explain some of the things that they are going through. He used this opportunity also to ask the government to please facilitate the release of all those people being held right now there. Amongst those released were others, a professor from the University of, sorry, I can't find the name quickly, but this story, others were released, really.
Okay, so major headline. INEC has reviewed Lagos and Kano are topped registration. So according to INEC, their goal is to clean up the register, detect and eliminate double registration. So that's what they're trying to detect right now. And then ensure that those who double registered, their second registration will be voided. But they can confirm categorically that we have no fewer than 93 million eligible voters are now registered. Now, of that, we have the Northwest has over 22.6 million registered voters, and Southwest has about over 18 million registered voters. Interestingly, Lagos tops the chart. They woke up with this Lagos. 7.1 million prospective voters, trailed by Kano, 6 million votes.
Wow.
Isn't it the first time that Lagos
I'm almost saying it's the first time, but I'm not sure. I wasn't sure. But usually Kano comes up with this 4 million voters. So it's not for this 7 million to show up and vote on that day. So 7 million of you have registered. Now, and that issue is picking up the PVCs. There's always an issue with that. So, but the lower state, Ekiti, has over just a little over 1 million. Bayelsa, Yobe, Gombe. These are some of the states that have very turnouts. FCT had little turnout, 1.5. That's surprising. Very busy. Well, I mean, but, you know, so the good news is that we now have 93 million, over, I think it's almost even 94 million. Wow. I think it's almost, let me see the exact figure.
That's good. Wow.
Imagine
if everybody had an opportunity to register.
We have registered now. We're waiting for the INEC to do the compilation, give us our PVCs on time, and then on that day, show up.
Good thing is we have enough time. Please, INEC, I want to advise once again. Can you let us, you have our house addresses. You can ship it, we'll pay.
No, they don't. No, they can't, because there are 20 people living in some houses.
Just send a message, you go and pick it up. It's not a big deal.
People don't have addresses. They don't pick it up where you register.
Give us the option.
No.
Give us the option, we pay.
And make it seamless.
I want to.
Make it seamless.
Please, I want to take the story of flooding. So, the NEMA boss, let me call Director General of National Emergency Management Agency, Mr. Mustafa Ahmed, has given a report to the news agency of Nigeria NANS that there will be 233 local governments are going to experience major flooding in 2022 out of the 32 states of the country. He didn't give a list of them, of those particular local governments. He said that, but the agency had already sent advisory information to all of them up front. It would be nice if the general public know about these areas. There are several roads that I've driven through in the past few days that erosion has taken the road. If there is any flooding, that road is gone. These people will totally cut out of the general society. So this isn't just an announcement for media, but the ministries for works for every state need to get to work before the flooding happens.
Yeah, so the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, yesterday said it dismantled 2 clandestine laboratories where an illicit drug, crystal methamphetamine, that's meth, aka Mpurummiri, were being produced in Lagos and Anambra State. And in that lab, they recovered 258.7 kg of the drug from the lab. This that's according to the statement by the spokesman, Femi Babafemi. He said that suspected drug barons and a chemist were arrested during the raid on July 30. And I want to get the one that happened in Victoria Garden City. He said it's owned by a baron, Chris Emeka Nzewi. The second is owned by Nise Community of Oka South Local Government Area of Anambra State. That one is owned by Paul Ozwemena. Now, this one that was caught in the area of VGC said it was being done in a 4-bedroom apartment, and the waste from that, those chemicals were being channeled into the septic tank and the sock away. And they have a very little, I think about a 3-month-old or 4-month-old baby in that apartment, meaning that the man is not even concerned about the health.
Doesn't even know.
Yes, hazard of that. And so one of the reasons they started doing this raid, especially for meth, was since 2021, where a lot of parents were complaining what this drug is doing to young people who are taking it. And so NDLEA is out to get these people arrested. And this is more like a warning to everyone who is responsible for, cooking up these drugs. They had a chemist amongst them, so they manufacture and the chemist to be cooking, and they are selling, making money, and
we the people. You can't say government, though. This is we the people, though. Let's move on to the punch. NRC suspends Lagos Kano Ajaokuta train services. Ondo Hospital rations fuel. Patient dies during surgery. Osun APC members protest, demand chairman sacking. 21 killed in Lagos Cross River crashes. FRSC blames fog. UK licenses 266 Nigerian doctors in 2 months. Wow. Impeachment. Soyinka backs lawmakers against Buhari. Kerosene hit 800 naira to the litre. Nigerians face hard times. Tinubu's government will be fair to all, says Shetima. Bank borrowing from CBN rises 27% to 4.5 trillion naira. Okay, which story are we starting with?
The Ondo story, quickly. So this is another human interest story, and it's a case of we the people, really. So this middle-aged man, Sunday Samuel, took his wife to the Ondo State Trauma and Surgical Center in Ondo State, and he has accused them of negligence. He said that his wife was diagnosed of breast cancer. They admitted her for a month to place her on medication to prepare for surgery. They scheduled her for Monday, July the 25th for the surgery. Prior to that, he had bought oxygen twice, which she didn't use for some days, and then he said she would need it sometime. He had to buy that. Everything that they needed, he bought. But on the day of the surgery, NEPA take light. They just pour fuel for gen. And, once NEPA bring light, they go off the gen. So in between, while surgery was going, that was happening. He said at some point, he had to go pull the gen himself because the person that was operating it walked away. After they brought light, they took it again. So he had to put the gen on himself. And eventually, he lost his wife. And they, yes, on the surgery table. And then he, he's accused the hospital of negligence. He's pained, he's traumatized. And the admin person is saying, what we do here is that we do surgeries on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and Thursdays. He says, nobody does surgeries on Monday. But I understand that maybe they scheduled him for that on Monday. I'm an admin person. I really cannot look into this case very well. I will let you know how it goes. This is an entire case of we the people. This is a person who says, I will use public system, and I don't mind paying. But Nigerians play tente with somebody's life, so that when you come out...
This is a government issue. There should be elected.
I hope that the governor of Ondo probes.
Diesel is expensive.
But he was willing to buy it. The life
is
of
a
his
private
wife...
or public hospital?
This is a government hospital.
The government
hospital.
Government.
He paid for it.
He bought oxygen. He said, in between surgery, the doctor now comes out, hey, oxygen.
They do that. They don't plan.
Let's go on a break.
That's such a painful story.
This one is government. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So, a broadcaster. See, yeah, this story has been hot for like 48 hours. We tried really hard. Wait now. We tried not to do it yesterday because just for, out of respect, let us just touch on it. But just another video now showed up. We had no choice, so to bring this matter to the table of your view. Now, a broadcaster like us, Rufai Oseni, trended all through yesterday. Oh,
Morayo is in the
review. Are we still reviewing paper? What time is it? You should have told me now.
They told you that.
I told you. I'm sorry, no vex.
The price
Oh,
of...
sorry. Okay, sorry.
You know, we're in the nation. Lamenting the price of PMS. The price of kerosene has increased to 800 naira per litre from 700 naira last week. Now, according to market survey by The Punch, they showed that 1 litre of cooking kerosene sold for 700 last week. It now sells for 800 and 850 in urban parts of Lagos, while the price has hit a high as 1,000, as high as 1,000 per litre in other areas. And they were comparing what they buy in Ghana right now. They say for Ghana, it's about 585 naira when you convert their cedis. And because the kerosene market is deregulated, it means that the product will be determined, the product prices will be determined by market forces. And that means that as the dollar is going high, the price of kerosene is going high. Also, if dollar comes low, likely the price of kerosene may come low. So they're just appealing to families to find a way around it and just be hopeful.
I was going to take the major headline. So Nigeria Railway Corporation has suspended the Lagos-Kano and Ajaokuta train services due to fear of terror attacks. If you recall, on Monday, there was a report that passengers, after being dropped at the Ajaokuta station along that Warri-Takwe route, gunmen started shooting at the passengers who were trying to get into their cars to leave. So that immediately they shut down that place. And now they're also saying that the Lagos Kano route has also been stopped and suspended because they passed through the Kaduna states and Niger states, and those places have been increased terror has been reported in those areas. So to keep Nigerians safe, they're saying that they're suspending those routes for now until they have better reports concerning the gunmen and the terror attacks. And that's pretty much what that story was saying.
Punch also reports that 266 Nigerian doctors were registered in 2 months in the UK. That's UK alone. We're not analyzing other countries of the world. And the total number of Nigerian trained doctors, not Nigerian by birth or Nigerian origin, but trained here, they finished their medical school in Nigeria, stands at 9,976. We are now third to India and Pakistan in terms of foreign doctors working in the UK. What is the cost? We already have a medical doctor shortage in Nigeria before the exit of doctors out, and now it is getting worse. The advice is from the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors Chairman, Secretary to the Nigerian Association of Registered Doctors, or Resident Doctors rather, Dr. Alfa Yusuf. He said the government should declare a state of emergency for the healthcare sector, address the challenges, improve remuneration and good working condition, address security issues, because the main issues doctors have, why they are relocating, why everybody is relocating, is poor working facility, insecurity, including assault on doctors while working, burnout from overwork, among others. We remember that the government did a gesture that we celebrated, that they will start paying hazard allowance. We celebrated it. Since 2020, it hasn't been paid. So, and we have doctors going in massive numbers, and we cannot stop them. You cannot hold me back from going if I want to go, but we must provide conditions here for those that are still staying to be comfortable.
I think we should. I don't mind our doctors leaving because they get more exposures and more info, have more up-to-date learnings. But I think what we need to do is make a conducive environment for them to come back. Those who have been there for 20 years, they don't want to come back home. So make it attractive to come home so that they can set up, because that's what we really need. We need that relationship with the Nigerians and diaspora. Okay, any other story? Let's move on now to
Sun. Daily
Sun. Let me find it. We don't have physical papers today, so it's kind of
complicated.
It's not funny at all. Okay, Buhari gives military full powers, seeks foreign help. Strike, no justification, keep students at home for 5 months, says SGF. Amotekun arrests 45 suspected criminals in Ondo. FG to rake in over 165 billion naira from the 5% telecom services and tax. Terrorists free 5 more kidnapped train passengers. NAPTIP, Turkish rights group, raised the alarm over trafficking of Nigerians to northern Cyprus. Youth protests in Abia call for disbandment of Ibubiagu. Gunmen kill 7 security guards, injure 2 in Imo State. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Well, let's take Nema. So the Director General of the National Emergency Management Agency, Mr. Mustafa, says they've identified 233 local government areas in the 32 states and the FCT that have been predicted to be experiencing flooding in this year's rain. It's also advised that the listed local governments... You took it already? Oh, so sorry.
Okay, so the Umuafom Orogwe community in Owerri West local government area of Imo State have been thrown into deep mourning after gunmen reportedly invaded the area. They killed 7 local security guards on duty and left 2 residents seriously wounded. Now, a source from the community said the gunmen came in 2 vehicles and a motorbike about 9:30 p.m. They took the guards unaware, shot them in 2 separate locations. The 4 of them were shot at a building not too far from the hospital, and the other 3 were shot at a new building in the area called Copper Sludge. They also said that 2 other people were running away from, the gunshots when one was macheted and the other one was shot in the leg, who has been taken to the Federal Medical Center in Owerri. So there's been heavy panic in the community. People are leaving their homes temporarily just to find somewhere to hide their heads. And the police has confirmed the story, but they said they are not aware if the people shot are vigilantes, but they are going to be investigating, and luckily they will find the perpetrators of this act.
Okay, which story?
Can I take
Go ahead.
the telecom story now? The federal government has projected 165 billion in 1 year from its proposed 5% excise duty on telecom services for calls, data, and SMS, and other areas as well, in the effort to generate revenue, of course. And the Minister for Communications, Issa Pantami, in another report, in another paper, is objecting to this 5% tax that they are proposing.
Okay, I was going to take the SGF, who was commending, saying that we have no justification to keep children out of school for 5 months concerning ASU. But that was all he said. He didn't say anything else that was really substantial. He just said, we believe that in the soonest our wards will go back to school because we don't want to produce half-baked graduates. And then he went on to talk about insecurity, saying that insecurity is not just about the government, that the people also must participate and ensure secure their communities by providing information and intelligence to security operatives. I thought he was going to focus a bit on ASU, but that wasn't the story. Any other story? Let's move on to the Nigerian Tribune. If I can find it. End this madness, Buhari orders security forces. Wow. High cost of diesel affecting my businesses, Obasanjo. 16 die in Ekwe-Ajah road accident. No lecturer has been paid since February, says ASU. CAN should stop acting like appendage of PDP, says ex-APC National Vice Chairman. NDLA boss the Impuru Mmiri labs in Lagos. Anambra arrest, I said like Yoruba, right?
Honestly.
Train attack, gunmen release 5 additional hostages. Bello shuts brothels, bans wearing of face mask in Kogi. Amoteco intercepts 140 travelers in Ibadan. Okay, which story? Tribune seems to have a lot of stories today.
Yes, Amoteco.
Okay.
Yes, said about 140 travelers from Zamfara were headed to Ogere, Ogun State, were loaded in a truck, and the truck was intercepted at Bodija area of Ibadan by men of Amoteco Corp. And they said they had noticed, the residents in the area had noticed that a truck had a lot of people, and by the time they caught the truck, they found that they had bags of onions, beans, potato, motorcycles, and northern travelers comprising of men, women, and children were hidden and stuffed in between this produce that they were carrying. So the truck was taken to a Amoteco compound and they were interrogated. I think they had to invite some members of the DSS to help in the interrogation, and they found that they were just traveling. And the driver said, they didn't have money to pay. I was just trying to help them. So they didn't find any incriminating ammunitions with them, so they had to escort them to the place that they were headed at the border to Ogere. And it was more like a warning that people shouldn't be traveling as such right now because of the cases of insecurity all around the country.
Let me quickly take NAPTIP story. So the National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking of Persons has said that a lot of Nigerians have been trafficked through Turkey into the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, that Cyprus is not a legally recognized country, and there are no relationship with the general community apart from Turkey. The challenge now is that many Nigerians go there thinking that they are going for education, but they are forced into prostitution, locked into apartments, documents seized, and they are being trafficked. The main economy of Cyprus is around education and tourism, and Nigerians being trafficked constitutes 70%. Young Nigerians thinking they are going into university in northern Cyprus are now being trafficked. So NAPTIP is giving this warning so that many, through their spokesperson, Mrs. Stella Nezan, in a statement, is advising young Nigerians to be aware that these people promising you education in universities in northern Cyprus tend to make them prostitutes or even they're just trafficked.
Yes.
Okay, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, move on to our hot topic of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So broadcaster Rufai Oseni trended all through Monday after he came online to accuse the police officers of pointing a gun at him and forcefully taking his car keys, driving off with the car. The officers had arrested him for taking the dedicated lane, that's the BRT lane. In the viral video that was released yesterday, Rufai was seen threatening the police officers that he will call the governor on them. However, he has since received a lot of backlash from Nigerians, with some people saying he was abusing his access to the governor to intimidate the police officers. Now, there are various angles and various layers to this conversation. It's interesting because there's always a Nigerian factor of, do you know who I am? Do you know I can call the governor? And there's also a part of, was he provoked? So you can look at this from different angles. Let's hear your thoughts. You can call us on 081-270-53687. 0191-390-7694. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read the tweet. So there are 4 levels. Level 1, he sent a tweet that the police took his car, and of course he made a fuss about it on TV, right? So we all saw that. And how can the police do that? That would discuss police brutality.
With a gun to his face.
They wielded a gun and tried cocking the gun.
And drove off his car.
Yeah, drove his car.
But
though he had admitted initially that he took the BRT lane and he saw others passing that lane. So why is it they arrested? That's one. Number 2, the police. So yesterday we saw a video that surfaced that showed where he was saying, "Bloody bastard! I'll call the governor."
He apologized for that.
I'm telling you, I'm coming in one by one now. Second video we saw where he was threatening the governor, threatening the police that he will call the governor. That was the second video. Yeah. And we saw him with the Lexus. I even thought the Lexus belonged to him. I was going to say, hey, in this work that we're doing, but no problem. But I saw that video. The second thing, we saw his video apologizing for using the word bloody bastard and also saying that there's nothing wrong in him saying he'll call the governor because he has a right to, he has access to him, he can call the governor. And explain that the car doesn't belong to him, that his friends come. He apologized. Now, the 4th one is that we got a tweet from the PRO Lagos State saying that, okay, he was charged to court yesterday, he had paid the fine of 70,000 naira, and his car has been returned to him. So, case closed. But the conversation is, how would you try to unpack this? And what level would you like to come in? His behavior, the fact that people are saying that he was arrogant, the others are saying that he must have been provoked. What are your thoughts on this? Let Okwe start.
Okay, so I feel Rufai has been in Lagos for many years and has also been in the media for many years, and all of us know what the rules are. We know that BRT lane is not meant to be passed through. But in my head, I was wondering, okay, yeah, this is someone that works from Lekki to VI for many years, probably not a mainland person, coming to the mainland for the first time in a long while.
What kind of talk is it?
And then
He was wondering.
I'm just like, okay, maybe he now saw people were driving through this lane. Maybe because there's traffic, they allowed them to pass through the lane. He entered, and then they stopped him. The conversation ensued. His ego took over. Because when I watched the videos, I knew the ego took over. I had a drama yesterday, serious drama. I keep all my documents proper. I don't follow one way. I don't do all those things. I only follow one way when there is clear demarcation that's turned this way. So when the FRSA official stopped me yesterday at Alaro and asked for my document, I said, I was even, we had this topic yesterday, so I was smiling that he pulled again. I gave documents, gave everything. He asked for, when they want to just check everything. Yeah. Fire extinguisher. I said, see, I've had a fire incident. I have fire extinguisher in my house, smoke detector in my kitchen. Please check. My driver got down and they opened the boot and they don't see fire extinguisher. Bashiru, where is fire extinguisher?
Who removed it?
He said, when he was washing the car, he put it in the other car. I said, and you heard me telling him, why didn't you just say immediately? So we turned the conversation to a beg conversation. But immediately that happened, the man walked away, wrote his ticket to us. And when he walked away, I told him, you saw that I have every other thing. All my documentation were complete. The fire extinguisher, the driver was telling you that he was washing car, he dropped it.
Ew.
You just want to show. Ego. He's not conscious. He will show up. And I just told him immediately, I said, we discussed this thing on the show this morning. You guys don't like people being nice to you. If the minute you stopped me, and many people were trying to stop them. As they try to stop them, they drive off. They don't wait. I said, that's what you people like. Because if we are cordial with you, if I did not entertain this conversation this far, you will not get to the point of fire extinguisher to harass. And I do not have any case against FRSC before. I could have gotten a warning. Don't try this again. Sir, there was a problem that happened there yesterday. That's why we're checking for fire extinguisher. Next time, please ensure you have it in your car. You write a warning, I go. But it was ego. His ego was to show that. Because I told him, I said, see, I have everything. Don't worry.
Catch you
so I started checking. I know the way ego works. I also went on him. Of course, I'm not an insulting person. What is inside you will come out when you are under pressure. Yeah. So your insult came out, Mr. Rufai, and I'm happy you apologized because that shows that you can be corrected. When the issue came out, I felt like I didn't call anybody. I have numbers. I told him, I said, I have numbers. I didn't call because it's just not the right thing to do. And that's the thing. The fact that you have access doesn't mean you should abuse it. You have been found disobeying the law. You just pay and with humility you go. So when I saw those videos after this happened yesterday, I had not even seen all the other videos of the drama that happened with Rufai. When I saw those, I said, this is his ego. This is the fact that you're feeling like, I am too important for this kind of thing to happen to me. And it can happen to every one of us. We must always checkmate ourselves before we start feeling like we are God. You are not.
Okay, let me come to you, Nima, because, we all face these things all the time. And I was saying the other day, yesterday, that sometimes you just say, okay, please, don't vex. I don't have this thing. Yes. And sometimes they're polite, but I hear you. You are so nice. That's when you start speaking English. But if you just go wait, collect $1,000, go, it's easier that way. So we now say, how do we balance this thing? Yes.
So just because Tokwe cited the road safety experience, I have 2. In fact, 3 that advise what I do when I'm with them. If the police stops me, I park well. If the road safety stops me, the first thing I do is call somebody that I know. That's the truth. So this is the experience of my late father when he was coming from Auchi to Lagos on that Benin road. They will stop you and you can be there till the next day. Your entire family will worry. They don't care. So when I was coming from home as well, I was stopped. The moment I remembered this is their star, and the driver that was driving was acting all like mad, I called somebody. Please, they have stopped me. Can you talk to somebody so that I'm clear or they know? Because I left Auchi around 10, and I was at 1 o'clock, I was already at Ore. So see Lagos. Don't stress me. But if you were doing your job as he should, tear a ticket, say you can go ahead, because other people are, no problem. But you would be there. They'll tell you the bank did the other. My father was running, and I remember that day I kept calling from Lagos. What is happening? So I don't want any errant officer doing grab, because you'll be provoked. And what you saw with Rufai doing was reactionary. He didn't, according to him, it wasn't clear as to a diversion that made him go into a BRT lane. Me, I was clear as to a diversion at Mile 2. They carry me going that bridge in Igomu. It's not only Rufai that call people. It's just the way he called the people. It's the way, if you know somebody, you call somebody, not, so that you don't even get kidnapped. I thought I was being kidnapped that morning. At 6, daylight has not even reached. I've not even seen morning light. I left at 6, but everywhere was still dark.
I remember that.
And they just entered the car with guns in front of me. Not be one, no. Bang, bang, bang. I was alone in my car. The first thing I thought, they are police. Be civil, be civil. I was not thinking fast. I opened my door. They jumped in. Madam, come down. Go to the back. Go to the back. I was being kidnapped. Yeah. That's not the way to arrest somebody. Yeah. And I wasn't even on a one-way. You now said, this is a one-way. I said, but there's a diversion ahead. He refused to admit that diversion. The next day, I went there. I went live. There was a clear diversion announced by the Commissioner for Transport in Lagos. And they carried my car to Igomonda Bridge alone. Okay. And we even had to call somebody for that officer to be insane.
Okay, so I get that.
You don't already should be calling somebody.
In Nigeria,
is this time? You won't say I will call somebody when you know you need to call somebody.
Just be calling the person.
Sure. Sir, please, they don't carry me. Waiting the apple.
But see, but we have to discuss is that the right thing? If you are listen, I can't let me finish. If you are wrong, if you are clearly on the wrong, you didn't see a diversion. Or there was a diversion, right?
I saw a diversion.
This is everybody that was born yesterday knows that there's a BRT lane in this lake. Don't tell me that Island Mainland. Everybody knows BRT lane. If it is diversion, we know they didn't put signboard. But come on. BRT, we know. And he himself admitted, yes, I entered BRT because I thought others.
He entered BRT lane, wait, Morayo. He entered BRT lane. But what we have not heard from the government was there a diversion? I have been on the corridor. Wait, we don't see him. Wait now. This is what, no, I'm just holding, wait, let me land this argument. I have been on the corridor road from Ojota, and there was a diversion from Maryland, and we went to pull out at Anthony into the BRT lane. Do you understand?
That is when there's issue. But the video you saw, was there an issue? There was no, the other cars on the normal road. Now, let's not bring that argument into this. It doesn't concern this one.
When there's an issue, Morayo,
the point I'm trying to make is, in the video we saw, there were cars driving. It was clearly you entered BRT. The man himself admitted, say, yes, I entered BRT. Because I saw other guys going and I thought it was okay. Fine, police came. And the fine is they are allowed to seize your car. Standard. The police, they are allowed to seize. What they was you, they caught. And they seized your car.
Your head did not carry the bad thing.
So they caught you. Now, they've seized your car. But because you are upset that they seized your car, you called somebody who has a Lexus 570. The kind of car the governor is driving. The kind of car the Oni of Ife is driving. Comes with their own entourage, with their own big band. Now, when I kind of drove in, now I felt like, yes, police, see who I am? You now go there and go and tell them that I will call the governor because you see the car 750 Lexus. I'll be 570 Lexus. You know this is who I am. So is that ego that entered your system?
Yeah.
They now spoke to the governor, but spoke to the police. But let me just jump in here. So, what are your thoughts on this entire episode?
Yes. So when people are doing the wrong thing, I'm very weary of joining them because there's nobody looking. That's what I see on Nigerian roads. So the parts are there. There's a bit of traffic on the other side, and you see buses taking that BRT, pia, pia, pia. As you put your head, if your head does not carry bad thing, they will catch you. And then you start saying, did you not see these buses? How many people will they catch? Yes, you are the scapegoat. Yes, so why don't you just avoid doing that when you know it is wrong? That's one. Secondly, when they now catch you, that you have committed an offense, be humble. Nobody cares who you are. 2 weeks ago, I was heading out to Miriam, and we just passed the road. We did not see any diversion, and they pack them. Omo, come and see Miriam speaking English. Me too, sir. We are very sorry, sir. We are very sorry, sir. It's not like I cannot call anybody, but I just know I'm wrong. There's nothing I can do. Even if I call the person and the person does, I know we sit here and we preach. We need to begin to practice what we preach. I am wrong. I have to apologize for that. And Tope said something about ego, which is very, very important.
And it's both ways.
It's both ways, yes. The police will show forth that I have the guns, I have everything. And I wish that the Nigerian security agencies will learn to give people benefit of doubt. And I think because they also do not have data to check your name if you have committed this offense before, they should be able to give people a pass. Okay, they check and you are a first offender. You are a second offender. The third time, sir, if your name pops up when we click it, we're going to take you.
They even have systems.
I understand that people who live abroad will tell you that when this sort of things happen, they check your name. Oh, it's the first time. And you explain, okay, I passed here, I did not see, and they will understand. But here, as if everybody's waiting to catch somebody who have finished you today. We need to begin to work on that. And for ourselves, when we want to show that we know somebody, this is not the time for it. Everybody knows somebody. Even the person you're calling knows somebody. So just be humble.
Let me take a break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So still on this Rufai issue. So we're talking about what happened or what possibly happened. But the real crux of this conversation for me is not about what happened or what didn't happen. It's the hypocrisy of how we are so quick to talking and condemning in our country. We are so vociferous in speaking against the government, what they do, how they are bad, forgetting that, and I always say, we the people, we are just as bad as the government we condemn. It's easy for us to criticize every day. Every day we can say, oh, Governor Sowolu did this. Oh, this person did that. That person. But when you are in governor, when you're in that situation, you abuse the power even much more. So if you have influence, if you know the governor, if you call Buhari safe, because I know Buhari. Now, because you are a Nigerian, for you it's normal to brandish that to somebody who you feel is lowly or who you feel that doesn't have the audacity to be talking to you anyhow. It's our Nigerian problem. So what happened or didn't happen is a side issue. But the real conversation is that all of us here, we're all talking. Talk is cheap. If you're in that situation, would you do exactly what Rufai did? If we are all there, are we all going to say, yes, I know the governor, I can call the governor on speed dial. He would arrest you. Would you will this? So I mean, the other day, I don't know. This was it last year or 2 years ago? I was arrested. That our junction. In there for my day staff, wherever. Okay. You know, you can go, they allow you, during school hours, they allow you. I went to pass there, and they stopped me. They arrested me. I followed them, they're jealous to the police station. I paid the fine. It was when I was leaving. Somebody now recognized me. Oh, I did not greet. The ones that collected my money came to come and do selfie with me. Took picture. They all laughed.
Take any picture.
I mean, after I was angry, I was really upset, but they came to laugh with me. They took picture. I gave it 25,000 naira. I'm like, what? 25,000 naira I paid. Then about a week or so after, where I was arrested, so they were looking for my car. They now came to apologize to me. I'm so sorry, man. But that day, police was there. They know these guys are there. I think it's they're Lasma guys. Yes. They now apologized to me that police was there that day, and they couldn't tell them that they're so sorry that they arrested me. And we moved on. But you see, it was part of the humility that we as Nigerians, we need. We need that humility because the policemen are equally frustrated as we are. So who is stepping down in this situation?
So we discussed it yesterday that sometimes everybody carry me crease for head.
Everybody.
Yes, and we are all under the same pressure. I reacted yesterday in a way that even I was shocked. I was like, why would you write me? It's not like I have fire extinguisher. I can even dash out. The last time sector commander for Lagos came here, he gave us fire extinguisher. He gave me fire extinguisher. So I had. So I was like, if it's an offense that I did something wrong, that we forgot it, just penalize and say, let us show it, you know. But his reaction made me so angry. And I'm like, we are all facing the same stress. Nigeria is dealing with you the way it's dealing with me. Yeah. So where am I going to get this money from? And I gave it to him like that. But at no point did I say, I will now say I want to start calling somebody. And why did I not do that?
You didn't make a scene.
Of course, I did not make a scene. Why did I not do that? Because my uncle, my dad's elder brother, was the first head of LASMA. He set up LASMA under Tinubu that time. And I remember when I was growing up that my mom would be like, Baba Komini, Oga LASMA, I recall. My uncle would tell you, I was former commissioner of police in Lagos State too, Udubela. He would tell you that if you disobey, I will help you pay the fine. I will not influence them against you. This is the government. The government, if you are wrong. So I sort of have that thing in my head. I also remember with the former governor of Lagos, Fashola, that he does not entertain. You will call me, and then I will not help you. That's not his style. So sometimes we have this system of I will call. Yeah. Is a system that we need to stop. It works now. Yeah. It works because it helps, and I know a lot of times. Sometimes I feel bad when I get caught.
Once his last issue, I call Nima.
Yes, but the point is we need to stop it because the spiral effect, the long-term effect of it is terrible. Yeah. But how? Let me just quickly land this one. Call the governor As in, how can you say you will call the governor?
Let him call the governor.
The governor of Lagos State.
No, leave that
one. Not be human being. Somebody, he grew up with somebody, somebody's classmate, somebody's friend. Yes. There are guys on my WhatsApp school list. I will call them. You cannot call him based on the governor. Let me explain. You can call him as a friend. You're making me miss my words so that it doesn't seem like I'm encouraging impunity. Yeah. Let me land what I need to say here. We know Nigerians have been in situations where the best thing that you could have done was call somebody.
Absolutely, you're right.
The other time I came to supply rice, I chartered a bus. Bus reached, they stopped him. I didn't know the federal safety had a rule against arresting small buses. The guy that stopped him was at his height, and I refused to interfere. I just kept quiet. He said, take your tickets, go and pay. We went into the yard, and the person in charge of that yard was like, he came into work and was like, who arrested this boss? Who arrested this boss? I was shocked. If I had made the I would have found that somebody was trying to. Right. He wanted that money in his pocket, and I said, give him a ticket, we'll go and pay.
So you're right.
And I went to pay.
In the Nigerian system, you better call somebody.
Sometimes you need to call somebody just for clarity.
Calling somebody is important.
Making a scene.
But when you are wrong, that's the issue. When you are wrong.
The issue is don't be wrong. When you are caught wrong, if just to be sure, call somebody. Yes. Another example that happened, I was going home at Alaki at 6. There was such much traffic, and I'd gone almost to Agboju. I just saw this traffic. It was endless ahead. I checked the map. It was all red all the way to Alaki. What happened? I started asking by guys, what's the happen? Container don't follow. Who's supposed to know that container has fallen? The last one guys. And what did they do? They diverted all the cars into the yard. They were arresting cars. Don't try me. I will call. There's a falling down container ahead. You should be calling an emergency to help us, because if you get stuck there, I know what will happen to you. You'll be robbed, you'll be maimed, you could be raped in traffic. So sometimes, I'm not holding brief for him, I'm not supporting impunity. But the agency cannot fail and then say you are calling somebody. Call somebody if you need to.
Catherine has been holding for a while. Come on,
you are right, call.
Catherine, are you there?
You are wrong, pay.
I am here.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
This Nigeria is happening to everybody.
Everybody.
Calling our credit. Abba, I'm waiting on the call.
No vex.
All right, so straight to it, right? You see, this matter, it's something that we all Nigerians have to learn this thing called humility.
Yeah.
I agree that there are times where you'll be on your right and the law enforcement agencies want to mess you up. I agree. But when you are wrong, step down.
Yes.
As a soldier myself, if you try that thing with me, you will sleep in that place. We will dead there together.
Yeah.
You will dead there together. What is it? You are wrong, you are wrong. If I couldn't catch everybody, at least I have to catch one person to stop the rest. That is it. So if you are wrong, you plead your case and let's settle it amicably. I will definitely not ask you to bribe me. That is me for you. I will never ask for a bribe. So if we can settle it here, we settle it. If I will let you go, I will let you go. But I have to stop every other person. If I will not let you go, we will settle it anywhere we want to settle. If the governor likes, let him come. We will settle the matter. Nigerians have to learn how to talk.
And the profanity he used, I mean, yes, he has apologized for that. But you see, it's part of the ego. Playing left and so we didn't cover the video where the police probably aggravated because we're almost certain for him to get to that point. And I think was it the post PRO yesterday was saying that anybody can record. Both police and you you're allowed to record. So I think we are clear that police record, you record, let us see what happened. So we shall even see where the police may have aggravated him, or maybe they didn't even aggravate him. It's the fact that they took his car,
the fact that they even held him. So the thing is, we need to be very careful when it comes to how we speak to people. And there's something I saw recently. We said that you don't know anybody till you fight them. It's what's inside that comes out when you fight, especially when the person is looking at you in a condescending manner. You know, there's a way Nigerians look down on these security officials, especially those ones who misbehave. The ones who are dressed properly, who talk to you properly, we don't disregard them easily. But you see those ones that just come out and brandish. I remember this incident. There was a time, very early in the morning, we're heading to work on the island from the mainland at the time, and they stopped us, and as if we're robbers. Only me and my boyfriend at the time. I lay down on the floor. I was screaming and I was rolling. That was all I could do. I didn't know anybody to call. And the guy was like, why is this guy misbehaving? Why is this guy misbehaving? Oh, so if he doesn't marry you, you will die. I said, I will die, yo. You people should not kill him for me. I had to behave like a mad person till we got out of that situation because it is needed. So it's about wisdom, weighing it. When you are wrong, accept that you are wrong and be humble. When you're in your right and you want to call, don't even put it in people's face that you are calling. Quietly step out and make your call, and however it wants to pan out, let it pan out. But that's when you tell somebody, I will do this, I will show you. I don't think it's necessary.
Let me take Olamileka, come to you, Nima. Olamileka, are you there?
I'm there with you.
You're live. Go ahead, please. Thanks for calling.
Yes, sir. Fine. You guys are doing wonderful.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. What happened is, this issue you guys are discussing, there was a period at Sele. I was descending from that Sele bridge, heading to Sono side. Yeah. So I was diverted by one officer that appeared there working on the other line. That she followed this road. At the end of that road, I was told I was on one way. One of your officers directed me to the right. Said, no. I said, okay, let's come back. They pointed my car, and in the process of turning back, we met the guy. I said, but I said, no, I did that. I almost passed with the guy that did that. But you're the one that directed me to follow this line. They did that when they discovered KR. They just want to make money out of you. Same yesterday at the airport, I went to pick one of my younger cousins from UK. I was heading a stand in my car. So I just passed by. Let me check what's there. They saw passing by. I saw two vehicles that passed. I never knew they were this airport checking. The two of them were discussing. One was even urinating there. Checking the engine to see what was making noise. They came around, they threw my vehicle. That I should follow. I said, okay, don't stop it, I'll follow you. I ended up paying 10,500. They took me to one corner at the back of the airport there. That I asked, what do we do to those people there? And I'm not sure the money is going to government for.
Certainly not.
So if I have anybody to call that time, would I call?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I get that.
I wanted to, so let's even define what is wrong. These same police officers constantly confused with what is wrong or right. One morning on our way to work, because BC gave this example, 5 police officers were driving separate cars. Then I used to drive separate cars with from my husband. He was ahead of me. We were even quarreling. So the guy was going his own, I was going my own. Suddenly, I spotted this car ahead. 5 police officers, one brandishing gun in all the different uniforms, right in front of La Casera at mile 2. Okay. And I was like, what are they arresting the guy for? This one, they don't drag his shirt. This is somebody dressed to go to the bank, pulling him. And
the husband?
Yes. I come down sharp. Whether I'm a kidnapper. I did not call low. I remember my Aochi route. I go crazy.
Yes, so immediately.
Officer shoot us. We die, all of us. What did he do? Who did? And at this point, they wanted to take him to an interview. I said, we die. What did he do? What is his offense? I went crazy. You know what they did? They got in their car and drove off and left us there. No offense. So my husband was saying, they told him that parking on the service lane is now a crime. Do you know you committed a crime? You're on the service lane. You're on the service lane. How can you park on the service lane? How does parking on the service lane become a crime? Which one gonna be crime? Do you understand? When a police officer stops your car, somebody will give you a clear information of how you have been wrong.
Yeah,
but
you know, Rufai wrong. He entered BRT. Somebody have already testimonied. I'm just saying that there are several other examples that happen to Nigerians daily.
We are here to complain of police brutality. We are in Nigeria. We know. There's so many situations whereby you not see any signage.
This happened on Agege Motor.
Listen now.
Agege Motor presently is under construction.
The man himself said it. We are not entering. Leave that matter. Don't try to defend what is indefensible. Let's go to the break. It's not an angle we've not discussed. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We have Yakub on the phone. Good morning, Yakub. Are you there?
Morayo, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Thank you very much. Is it Morayo? You all have spoke very well. And then Sister Topper said something earlier about ego. I think ego is something that is okay. But I want to give you a very vital information here. You see, for example, let me use this my area as an example from Ilesik. down to Abule Egba, if you dare follow BRT lane, and then these guys catch you, you are done for it. Because you see, if you see all these yellow balls follow this BRT lane, Morayo, do you know something? These guys are waiting for my car to be catched. They are work hand in hand. I can tell you that for free. If you see them, they are not saying that, okay, this is yellow bus is following them. It's a lie. They are the people. They will say the yellow bus, they know themselves. They will ask them to follow that place. Yes. And then when you now see yellow bus follow there, then you are a car. You know, they say the yellow bus is following there. For all you there, the yellow bus will be passing and then they will just stop you. Yes. You will not say that this is yellow bus. They say, how many of them do you want to catch? That is a fallacy. Because they are working hand in hand. And then about the fire and Sigusha, Morayo, do you know something? You see, all these are people that, all these security officers, you are saying that my car should be using fire extinguisher. And then the people that is carrying load of people, they are not seeing it that it does not matter for them to use fire extinguisher. But a car that is carrying 1 or 2 persons, you are asking for fire extinguisher. What about the people carry 18 passengers, 14 passengers? The fire extinguisher does not matter. What a country that we have. Good man, God bless you, sir.
Let's bring 2 issues now. Let's imagine, indeed, maybe there was some issue that he couldn't figure out where the BRT lane was, and he entered it. And you're a TV personality, you're a presenter on television, you criticize the government, that this, that, and then they arrest you. And you're already angry that, listen, I'm going somewhere, I don't know it's a BRT, the other people that passes through, why are you bothering me, you know? But there should be a way you convey that message to the police officer that knows you're doing it respectfully.
Yes.
Now, if you had even been arrested, and as a law-abiding citizen, agree to pay your 70,000 naira fine and go to the police, pay and go. Nobody will know about this thing. But by yourself for yourself, you recorded, put it on Twitter, and that's the other angle I want us to go into. Because every little thing for us is something we need to publicize. Every single thing that happens to you, somebody comb my head the wrong way. I've combed, I've taken a picture. Imagine today they comb my head this wrong way and you post it on social media. Because it was by himself that he posted initially. If he did not post, we don't know. You have just jejely go, they pay your 70K and go home. You can say the next day, the other day I was arrested, the guys come there, I was really upset, I moved on. Me too. But for that need for, let me just project the government as bad, the police is bad, they're horrible, they're terrible, they're clinical, let me just post it. Then we come and see, they're all back, come and see what they did to me yesterday. Is that the social responsibility that we as a people should do? Yes, the government is bad in a lot of ways. Yes, they have their own issues. But why are we so quick?
It's called crying wolf. That's like this.
Crying wolf. You think it's crying wolf?
It was crying wolf. You know, he was wrong. And what he did was say, they took my car, they didn't talk to me, you know, create a fear. They pointed a gun at me and took my car. So give half of the story, half, that one.
And post it on social media, and then that goes viral.
Because you know you have that effect, you have that influence, you know people. He went on Twitter. And so Twitter was boiling. They don't catch Rufai. Police brutality. Those were the sensitivities that people played on. That, you know, that caused the answers. Some people were guilty. I know some boys that were, once the police speaks, then they'll say, they'll go on live, they'll start screaming. The crime itself, they will hide that part and be saying they brutalized me.
Yes.
We saw a police officer on Lekki Way. He stopped a one-way car, and the young man, as if on drugs.
Shouting.
He drove at him. He tried to drive into him, and the police officer comported himself, even though he had a gun. He didn't do nothing to him. So we know these people who plan and say half-truths. That, for me, was totally wrong.
Let me take Tunji. Tunji's been holding for a while. Good morning, Tunji. Are you there?
Hello?
Yes. You're live.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Yes, Tunji.
And our colleagues. My name is Tunde Raji. I'm an ex-staff of Lamata.
Oh, Tunde Raji. Okay. Welcome to the show.
I'm an ex-staff of Lamata.
Okay.
You see, I was there that day. I was passing by. I was driving. And I saw Rufai, Tunde Raji, not Tunji, Tunde Raji.
Okay.
Yes, I was passing by, and then I saw Rufai, I saw him arguing with the police. So what I did was to slow down. There was no traffic, actually. There wasn't traffic when I got there. So I actually wanted to pull back, but there was no refuge at the side. That was after Ilezi, towards Ikeja along. And I slowed down. And I went down, I said, Rufai, what's the problem? And he was coming towards me. He explained to me what the problem was. But I could not, I was actually creating nuisance behind. So I decided to, I just said, please resolve with them, please resolve with them. Because I was a staff of Lamata, I would have been of help. What I would have told those people is to just tell them that, please, perhaps you take him to a separate place and you resolve it. But I was so surprised that this particular issue degenerated into sort. He would have spoken to them in the language they understood. He would have spoken to them that, see, I am going on emergency, this and that. By his personality, perhaps they would have had clemency on him. But he started calling people and so on and so forth.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, because that's part of the emotional intelligence you talk about all the time.
Yeah, you know, social media has been given to us as a tool for development, and we can use it both ways, either for good or for evil. Now, evil is when you know that you are wrong, but because you feel you have gotten to a level in that social media, you have a number of followers, you are doing a job that people know you, you can tweak it and then get people on your side against the other person. That is pure evil. But sometimes, honestly, it's important that you show what is happening, especially when it comes to the case of intimidation. We know that there are some of these officials who, especially in the early hours of the morning, who are drunk. You can smell it from their breath. They are waving their gun anyhow. It's another time to show, in case anything happens, that this is what the situation that I have found myself in. Not because you have a platform that would enable people, you know, speak against the government or speak against the security officials, but because you are doing this for safety purposes, so that Nigerians, we know this is where I am. So we need to be very, very careful. And don't think, see, every platform that God gives to you is for you to do good. It's for you to bring humanity into that light. Always ask yourself, what am I doing with this? Am I using it to oppress other people who do not have this opportunity? Or am I using it to speak for them? At every point in time, even when you are faced in a situation like this, when I was caught recently, me and Mariam were going out, nobody saw it on social media. We did not post anything. We were obviously wrong. They caught us. I had to humble myself. She humbled herself. And we're sorry. We honestly did not see this. And we did not make any post. Imagine if I got on my phone to do, hello, this is this, so. They just caught us. I did not do this. I did not do that. I'm beginning to use the opportunities that I have for evil. We need to really be careful.
Another angle related to this. Because sometimes when I see things on social media, I wonder, do these people want to burn down this country? I have to ask you, do you want to burn down this country? Because I tell you, I don't have a second passport. This is all I have. So many of you who just post things, I mean, I now realize, Nima, if you would like to know, many, I don't say that's what Rufai did, but there are many people that do these things for international attention. You get international recognition. Oh, he fights corruption. Wow. Oh, he fights the government. They'll give you international recognition. They'll fly you to one country. They'll give you an award. You get recognized. You get asylum. You get all sorts of attention international. And you are there following these people, saying, oh, burn down the country. NSAS, they've come. They're beating me up. They've done this. You now get social media following, and then one international body now comes to you, bring you to Boston, give you a fantastic award, and you're the hero, and your family will go to America.
Forget the masses.
You don't forget the masses.
Don't put fire for us.
So when I saw that thing happen, there was somebody it happened to, and I was like, eh?
Now, wow.
So you too, you can do this kind of thing? I don't follow those people anymore. When I just see them just trying to gain attention by dehumanizing and denigrating the country that we live in. So even though, and when people say, oh, Morayo, you're always supporting the government, it's not because I want to support the government. The government means I'm in this country. But we must constantly wait because some of us don't have options.
So, regarding one of the things that we must realize with social media is what you live, you can't erase it.
Let me pause you. I have a call. Good morning, are you there?
Good
Hello,
morning,
you're live. Go ahead, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're live. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. I appreciate your discussion this morning. I think this is a social issue in our society. And I won't lie to you. The activities of LASMA, BRT, and road safety in Lagos is becoming something else. Sometimes you wonder whether we actually have laws regulating these guys in the street. We discover most times they are just interested in arresting. You will see a LASMA officer where there is a serious traffic ahead of him. He is looking for someone to arrest. You will see a road safety personnel standing on the highway when you discover that there is high trunk of vehicle. The road safety officer will raise up his hand on the middle of the road. Nigerians are very good people. If not, these guys, many of them will have been killed on the road, off, and drove off. We have our gadgets. We have offices across the country, especially in Lagos. When you discover a GIO officer in a place where you have numerous vehicles, they will cause traffic, and national officials will not even stop them from causing traffic. They won't be able to even manage the traffic. Going from Maryland towards Anthony,
right,
and every from Anthony towards Oshodi, you will see arrays of cars arrayed in that place, in that spot.
That's a
when
hot
you
spot.
see GIO officers causing serious traffic, they won't even do anything. What they need is just for them to arrest a vehicle who does not have what they needed.
right.
There is no.
Thank you. Yes, by the way.
So I want to talk about social media and the way it's a tool and it can incite. And people can read meanings. People will share related stories. It's a huge platform and it's a responsibility. Like, you must know that this is the I hold this as a responsibility. So the first sentiment that came out was everybody was feeling for Rufai. Even somebody that has high up as Rufai can experience this kind of thing. What would that happen to lowly me? Oh, this country. Somebody that is a recognizable face. This country is that. People started saying all sorts of things until we now saw the other side of the story. At every point in time, we have a responsibility. I said earlier, if you are wrong, if you know you are wrong, just pay and quietly go. If you know you are right and there is something you are being, your right is being trampled on, make every phone call, record everything you can record because your right is being trampled on. But if you are wrong, simply pay and quietly go. Yeah. This man just gave example of people, traffic, LASMA officials, or not even LASMA, security officials trying to make money. You know that it's as if they have a target. And we've heard it before, and I would really like to ask a police officer, LASMA official, is it that you have already given your men on the street targets to catch 10 people? So they need to catch 10 people. Yes. They will stop as many traffic to catch 10 people. Yes. When they have caught 10 people, they can now relax and let you go. Sometimes it feels like it's that way because you see them, they'll be looking until they find something. They don't see you. Another person until they get...
That's what road safety do. They will check for your lights.
Yes, they will look. Somebody stopped me and said my brake light is not working. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. I did not know. He was going to I said, thank you, I did not know. How am I supposed to know the brake light? I didn't know, actually, I didn't know, and I fixed it.
You don't know when it's supposed to.
Okay, that's my final call. We have to wrap up on this. Good morning, Andy. Are you there?
Good morning, ladies.
You're live.
Can you hear me, please?
Very clearly. Go ahead, please.
I just want to contribute to this issue of Rufai. What I understand from this system is that Nigeria is still using an analog system. Yeah. Here in Europe, we don't have any police or any traffic wardens to be on the road when you go against the traffic rules. Why can't they fix camera there? Camera can control everything, whether you really commit the offense or not. Don't need to appeal to call anybody. You and camera and the government have to say, even when you are paying the bill, you don't know who sent the bill to your address. So because of that, all these police
thank you very much. Let me tell you the Nigerian factor. You see, when I hear people from abroad say all these kind of things, it sounds nice and fluffy and flowery. Yes, you do. They will catch you. First of all, the address you register, the Nigerian I know, likely not even register the correct address in their driver's license. Maybe they even moved 20 years ago. They moved around. They now go there. They will not find anybody. Now send the ticket to your house. This is Nigeria. It's a whole different system. Yeah. Now, in America, if you move from Point A to Point B, they know. Here, you live in the business house, then I enter Lagos. Then I move to Tokwe's house. Then you don't update anything. Isn't this some Nigeria you're talking about sense address? Who are you talking about? Please, let's bring the conversation back home.
He's not here.
He's not here. This thing, let's move it back home. Let's take a few comments.
That you raised is even important in the sense that somebody buys a Nigeria used car. He does car change ownership. And there's a fine on the car for the old existing person. And you say, no, the new owner, even though there's a car ownership exchange document, must pay for it. Every time he goes, you stop his car and you insist he pays on it. I confronted them last month on one or such and the VIO on one or such. They insisted he paid. I allowed my brother pay, he allowed Luson pay the money in Badagry, but it didn't sound right. I said, there's a name on this fine. There should be a name on the fine. There's a driver's license on the fine. And it was probably registered. Why can't you trace that person's name? They said they cannot. It's the plate number. They can change. He didn't move. He's still in Nigeria. Let me take some messages. Boss Baba says, can Nima keep the calling somebody talk to this particular issue. Come on, every statement she gives other examples not related to this issue. Let's keep the discussion to this particular issue. Then she says, visible or not, citizens should always do what is right by law, regardless of who you are or what you do. Always having said that, I think the police did the right thing by stopping him, and I'm glad he has apologized.
Yeah, okay. Any other messages about it? Okay, we have to wrap up. I think calling in favors is a global phenomenon. Anywhere you're in the world, if you are highly connected, you want to make a phone call. Yeah, so calling people is not a problem.
It's not for favors, so
but
it's for clarity, and not for kidnapping.
I mean, you can call in for this, I just messed up, please let me just, you know, but what we're trying to, the real conversation is, especially for those of us who are on television, who are quick to criticizing, who are one of those who project the rule of law and try to remind the government of their their wrongdoings, we also must be seen
to be good examples.
To be good examples of the law at all times. So if I do something, people expect me to obey the law. So I think we carry more weight than we think we do. And we as Nigerians, not just as TV presenters, but also as citizens, we must understand that we must obey the laws. And whenever we break the law, humble yourself. This is Nigeria. This way, we never reach the stage where buy tickets, to the address, I'll send it to you. Wait now, humble.
No, we have. That's the system in Lagos.
That's the system. It's not everywhere. I mean, let's not even go there. That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we want another topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're going to be wrapping up this conversation, especially because we started the talk on police brutality, and we're going to be linking that to how we expect officers of the law to treat Nigerians. You know, yes, we know we take responsibility on our own part when we goof, but we also would like to use this opportunity to share some tips to our viewers and to law enforcement across, especially in the state. We have Lamata, we have Lastima, we have the police, we have the ones that carry that ride bicycle, the neighborhood watch, all sorts of agencies. And there's got to be a modus operandi on how you engage the citizens. And that's what our focus is. But before I go ahead, I must read some of the comments I've received. One says, good morning, Morayo. Please ask, is there one person in any of these agencies that have been arrested for not greeting them? 99% of offenders are contravening in one way or the other. These officers know it. Let's begin by taking responsibility. Have all your necessary documents and don't break the law. Let's see if last month there were arrested. So what he's trying to say is that usually, more often than not, we've committed an offense. And many of us overlook these offenses. And it should be just BRT lane. It should be just one way now, God now, no vex. But the truth is that we must begin to recondition our minds that the law is the law. If I choose to overlook today, tomorrow I might choose not to overlook. So if you are going on the one way, if you are going on BRT lane, if you are maybe crossing the red line, or is it the traffic light? You are jumping the traffic light. These are all illegal. Yeah. But because the police overlooks it today, doesn't mean that tomorrow they won't overlook it. So we also have to recondition our minds. But how do we want these people to treat us? Yes, okay, when we mess up. Somebody said earlier that give me a ticket. Well, that's a possibility. Yeah, that's a possibility. How else do we think we can?
I think we need to start first by telling ourselves that we must obey the law, the rule of law, and not comparing ourselves with people who do not obey the rule of law. The security officials, most of the time, we see them not obey the laws that they have set for themselves. And then Nigerians will now use the opportunity to say, after all, you people pass one way. Why will you have to hold me when I pass this one way? Let us start by taking responsibility for what we can do. There was a time, every time I need to renew my papers, I usually forget. And then police held me a few times on the road when my paper has expired and I didn't look at it. I had to quickly start reminding myself that I can't be caught like this. So I took responsibility. I must always get my driver to check the papers, know when we need to renew so that I don't get into... See, I don't like to waste my time. My time is money for me. Time is value. So instead of spending the whole day there engaging and discussing and talking and insulting ourselves, I will use that time to take a nap so I can be productive in the night. So I do the things I need to do so that I'm not caught in the crossfire. Now, the police training Whether police, whether LASMA, whether FRSC and all of that, they need to improve on their training. The way they brandish guns, as if we are criminals. When they hear criminals, you will not see them. They will appear after they have finished robbing.
God bless you.
But when they see innocent citizens who are just doing their normal business, even if they get intelligence that there are people, Yahoo people on the road and all of that, it is not for them to brandish. The way they use guns to stop people who are just driving is scary.
Absolutely.
And when that flight mode or freeze or fight happens in your head, the typical Nigerian will react.
Absolutely.
Because you have seen gun, your mind has told you that you're in danger. So anything they see, they take. So if they learn to treat us like human beings that we are, come down, have a conversation. You have done this infraction, we're going to ticket you, we're going to do this, and you yourself talk to them in a civil manner. Maybe things will change.
Okay,
so
I like
training.
what you said.
They need to focus
how
on
they've
it.
been trained, because many of them are usually they're battle ready, because they expect you to be aggressive towards them. Because they stop, they already expect you to be aggressive. So they are ready with the aggression, and they have to learn how to also talk to them with civility. Let me come to you, Nima, but let me take this call first. Adamu from Jakonde. Good morning, Adamu. Sorry, go ahead, Nima.
So it's a tactic. They try to provoke you, so you know better than to react. Every time a police officer stops you, they try to provoke. It's a tactic. No. If you start to talk too much, one of them, the one that held me, his tactic was to provoke. I kept saying, I will not leave my car. I won't come out of my car. I don't know why am I being taken? And the first reaction was, let me allow them. And then later, I just saw how stupid he was. I was stunned, and I was ready to costain. Why am I being taken? Because I was on the phone with the head of LASMA in Festac and asking him, where is the diversion? I've been in traffic for hours. I'm running late. Where is the diversion? And I kept saying, go ahead, you'll see diversion. I said, oh, madam, I think you're there now. Turn. I turned, and they picked me just like that. I was confused. So sometimes their tactic is, one, they want to get you to be confused. They want to get you to react. They want to try as much as possible to be calm. If your resort, like Rufai did wrongly, my own resort was go live. Let people know wherever this car is going to stop, so that at least somebody can trace you.
Let me take this call.
I have 2 kids. I live at home. I don't want to go and lost.
Good morning, Shagun. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
You're live.
Yeah, this is my first time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Good man.
Go ahead. Listen to the TV.
Okay,
Listen to me, please.
I don't do have people, so I just want to appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shagun. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Shagun. Go ahead, Topper.
So for me, how do I believe that everybody, we're all Nigerians, and sometimes I think that the average security enforcement officer feels like people in cars are more privileged than them, and it affects the way they behave towards you. So they feel like, wind down, then bring your car. Where are your papers? When you show them, where is this one? When you show them, as like you see the feeling of, they don't want you to have everything. They like the idea that you don't have something. So they keep digging until they find something. Tinted permits. Inner lights. Bring out this one. Bring out that one. And you're wondering, Oga, you have asked for documents. I've shown you. You asked for second one. I've shown you. Now you are going to number 10 on the list of what I don't know what you're looking for.
Your business.
So what exactly are you trying to get? So that for me is a problem. Another key thing is value our time. I think the training of all law enforcement agencies should be that don't spend more than 2 minutes per person. 2 minutes, chim, 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 go. Chim, 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 go. Because people have their own lives as well.
Is that how they're going to do for criminals? Chim, chim, chim. Don't do it for criminals. Criminal, you must check.
So if you know what are the things you are checking, if 2 people are going to come to the car, somebody is checking the front, open the boot, you're checking at the back. We do this, whatever we're checking, see how fast can you check a car in detail in 2 minutes. Because when you see true criminals, you will run.
Okay, let me take this call from Tonya. Tonya is there. Good morning, are you there? Hello, Tonya, you're live.
Yes, good morning.
Oh, Timmy, I do apologize. Go ahead, Timmy, you're live.
Yeah, regarding what Rufai did. Hello?
You're live, Timmy. Go ahead, please. We can hear you.
Okay, regarding what Rufai did, I have an uncle who is a commissioner of police. And whenever I get stopped and I call him, he would apologize to the police officers on my behalf. he's a pastor and he does not tolerate nonsense. Sometimes these people how much are they paying them as salary? When you go to their barracks, you'll be surprised how they live. There was a day someone told me a story in Abuja about that robbers came and they called police officers that Yahoo boys are misbehaving and they are lavishing money. And this police rushed down to the scenario, thinking, they are going to make so much money today. Unknowing to them, they called them to come and face armed robbers. And they later called the guy who called them that you are a very stupid person. Why would you call us to come and face robbers? So it's that bad for them also. They have families at home. So good morning. Thank
you very much. So there's another angle of if the car factor, because somebody mentioned it here now. If it was an LX 570 that Rufai was driving, there's a possibility they won't stop him. Yeah, because they think they're big man, and even that because the big man can give you correct money. So even though you say, "Well, got BRT, wind down, smile, laugh," it does move. But because now normal, regular Nigerian like us, you now begin to be aggressive towards the guy.
Where you carry escort to?
While I was in Ekpo yesterday, the person, I met one of my real estate people too, and the man came with a police escort, and he was like, you don't have police escort and you're going to site. And I said, I don't need police escort. When FRSC stopped me, I felt that if I had a police escort, how much is the fine you're finding me is less than the police escort, and I would have just driven past. So sometimes the Nigerian factor. So I feel like we need to elevate the position that they hold, so that they would take that job with dignity, and it would also elicit the same from us.
There's also a very important need to distinguish whose job is what. The police is supposed to be searching for missing cars. They're supposed to be profiling and stopping cars, not stopping every car. Where's your driver's license? Your pooper, you're this, you're that. So there's a rule I know, because my husband registered his driver's license mistakenly, paid someone who said, don't worry, you don't have to come for capture, we can arrange it. Unknown to us, it was a doctored driver's license. Yes. And I went to the office because I have the sector commander at the time as a friend. I just sat down, I captured and left. And so two of us have driver's licenses that look exactly the same, but one was not the real one at that time. And when he was stopped, he said, no, my driver's license was done at the same time as my wife, and they look exactly the same. The man just went on the system. He escorted them to the office, went on the system, entered his name, no records. And they entered his wife's house address, everything, even phone number, everything popped up. So we know that there's a system in this country. I was hit by a car in Vaux. I went to the Federal Road Safety Command office. They've traced the owner of the car, the plate number, everything, phone number, somebody that I could call. In this Nigeria, I say, you say you not call, don't call, no. Before you enter trouble. I'm just saying that there's a system. And we must be informed of this system. When the police stops you, when I'm stopped, I park well, please, are you looking for a matrix, this type of car? Is it missing? Yeah. Madam, are you speaking English or is no vex? I just wanted to know why I'm being stopped.
Exactly
because the moment you take my license and you're walking away, I will call somebody.
There's random stop and search.
No, these are police officers victims. They know what they do. They sometimes
listen, I don't
you stop me, sometimes Morayo, the me sitting here, I'm giving you several examples. You hear me say I tell person story. Okay. I drive a distance to work and back. I see a lot of this every day. Right. The distance I drive in a shortest is an hour on a free traffic day. Right. So I see a lot. I see too much of this on a daily. Right. I know when I think this one, borrow yourself sense, do something right. There was a diversion at Doba Junction when they were constructing the Badagry Expressway. And every car was taking the diversion. The moment to reach my turn, stop to the yard. I said, yeah. It was a military officer that was supposed to be in charge of that diversion in Camo, in Nigerian military uniform, that was saying, you must pay for this. I was saying, no, God, what are you saying? And he was pointing a gun. Sometimes they are doing something, a lot of times they are even doing something wrong.
Okay, well, for
someone who is conforming.
My own experience, I've hardly had this kind of, I've only had that one I just talked about. And one many years ago, they hardly ever stop me. I always have it, when I greet, I just greet them nicely and we just pass. I don't have issues.
Your waka is not this terrain. You know, there's some places you go to.
I can't remember what happened. I think I gave you guys just many years ago. I can't remember what happened. Was a military guy. On the road, I came there on my 2 knees on the road. I was begging, God, please. Because I can't remember what happened. But I was begging because, unfortunately, that's the Nigerian way. Because if you don't beg, you will spend there.
There's no other way to say
when Mr. Jide was last mile officer, you will feel like crawl. you pay.
Yeah.
When he was the one, I remember.
I will never forget.
Better don't get wrong.
Go
I
ahead.
will not release you.
I just want to say that the government has a lot to do to clean up the system.
Yeah.
When you commit this sort of crime in the abroad that we like to go to, nobody is chasing you. They will meet you. If you say you cannot find the address, don't they have their papers?
These are the same Nigerians.
No, hold on. No, hold on now.
You're not gone. How would you get biometrics?
No.
See.
It's about the will. No, it's about, hold on. It's about the will to work.
Yes.
Your car is registered. It has a plate number. You can call it up.
Yes.
There was a time I went on a red light. I didn't see it. I didn't even take note. Somewhere in Ikoyi. They sent a receipt to my husband's phone. In the office, just called me. Baby, where are you? I say I went to do a recording. Where are you? They just sent me a message. Where did you pass? I didn't even know I committed the offense.
That's in Lagos.
No, I'm just telling you. Lagos is working. What stops other states from working? It's about the will to do the right thing. Hold on now. Hold on now. It's about the will to do the right thing. We say we cannot trace. When is a politician that is taking 2 hours, they will fish out the person.
We find
This
the
person,
person.
I know, thank God I know.
If not poor man, go pay 300. But if not
They
big
traced
man.
I was privileged to speak to a police officer. They traced one in Zamfara, Lower Zamfara.
Oh.
How would you?
They don't have police in Zamfara to pick him up.
And see,
What are you
where
saying?
would you find
They
will find it's difficult to get there when they're in Zamfara.
No.
When you're ready to I
Auntie,
know someone whose car was stolen in Lagos.
You don't want to.
The car was stolen in Lagos, and he worked with the police, did a good job with them.
Car.
They found the car in Abuja. A mechanic carried his car. He just carried a brand new car. There was this one, as they just put plate number. He had not put a very expensive car. They found the car in Abuja. The mechanic had moved the car over the weekend all the way to Abuja. Okay. When they are ready to work, they can't work.
Okay, you're right.
And I see that.
I accept. When they're ready to work,
and I love our new set of PR. I think we've always been good. Police has always been
good. The
new
new IG has gotten really good
PRs. We see them on social media. They are really, really working. We want that spirit of excellence to trickle down to everybody there. And it comes from dignity of labor. Treat our police officers with respect as within the force.
Whatever happened to the Dolapo
And if you find an Erin, she's now with a very senior team. They promoted her. So if you find
an face, you wanted to see.
She was one face.
One face, nice.
If you find an Erin police officer, the numbers to call. Yeah. The police put it out there. I know one of that of the provost. I saw an Erin police officer in front of Lasu, shirts open, smoking, very drunk, pointing a gun at me. Stop!
What year was that one?
2019. I was leaving. I was coming from station. I went to see my parents and I was going home. I called, and immediately they said, "Give him the phone." He said, "I will not take that phone." The superior collected the phone and found out they were talking to the provost of the police. Immediately, "Madam, sorry, no vex." I said, "No, I want to know why he stopped the car so that other cars I want to know why." Right. I said, "Madam, please be going." They were doing illegal operation there. And the person in charge will find out their station. They will follow through this thing. Yeah. So if you have number, your number well.
So from this conversation today, we know that yes, you have contact. Use your contact. However, make sure that you're on the right. You're on the wrong. Be civil enough to pay your fine.
And let us not act like the government we condemn.
Hey.
Yes.
Oh gosh, that's a good way to finish.
I love it. In fact, we should quote it. Let us all act like the government is condemned. BC Ugo. Correct. Get it. I think
the waker.
The waker has woken us up. Yes, so that's right. Please, as we wrap up the show, please put the camera on me. Let us not act like the government is condemned. BC Ugo. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Wake up.